Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
Chicago to your speakers.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like, you dislike, or even if you just want to go ahead and get your hot take off, go ahead, give us a call, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play it back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So, not sure about you, but basketball season's still going strong right now. So go ahead, purchase those tickets, create that account, do what you got to do, and make sure you save $20 when you go to that next concert or something. However, something else has definitely had our attention. It's not basketball. It's the free agency in the NFL right now because it's been on a tear. It's been very eventful, I should say. Twitter was down. A lot of people get their news from Twitter. You check out all the football pages and all the reporters and stuff. This is how they deliver news nowadays, is through social media. So with Twitter being down, you miss a lot of things. You catch some things. And yeah, sometimes you just don't get to catch anything at all. But with that being said, man, there's been a lot of different deals that's been happening in the free agency, the day one, which was today. And, people got moved around. Trades happened. I didn't collect all of the trades, man. I was really trying. I tried to give y'all everything y'all would need when you listen to this so you could be fully updated. But, bro, with Twitter being down, it was so difficult. It was so inconvenient to try and figure out who went where and who signed to who and who got traded for what. Like, with Twitter being down, you were finding out almost every other 30 minutes. And, yeah, it was crazy. So, yeah, things were behind. Some guys signed new deals, and I was hours behind. And then you got another trade that happened and sent the guy somewhere. So, it was a lot of chaos. I'm going to just keep it at that. However, I want to rate the most impressive to the disappointing moves in the NFL free agency. And I'm not going to go through all of the teams, but some of the teams that stood out to me so far that I thought was very, very impressive. That first team happens to be the Chicago Bears. And, hey, it's about damn time for the Bears that they finally doing something right. It's safe to say the Chicago Bears is arguably won the offseason again. I mean, you brought Ben Johnson in. You brought multiple coaches that were on the Lions staff. You brought in new pieces from before the free agency even started. And then now you bring in multiple all-pros on that line, like offense and defense. Yeah, I think it's safe to say the Bears have won. Joe Thuney, this dude, he's been balling. 4-time All-Pro offensive lineman. Drew Dalman, All-Pro center offensive lineman. Chris Williams, Jonah Jackson. Then you add Grady Jarrett on the defensive line. Like, the Bears, they're winning this offseason so far. But this is nothing new. This is how you build a successful team. And you can have all the skill guys you want, but if you don't have guys in those trenches putting in work, it clearly will not work. And that's what we've seen from the Chicago Bears last year. So, one of the things is the Bears had the third worst rushing game and the absolute worst passing game in the NFC last year. And that was not all on one person. It was because they could not get things done in the trenches where it really mattered most. So with this all being said, if the Bears are doing good, they're picking up people, they're bringing pieces over and making it look like they're winning the offseason. My only concern with the Bears is just getting everything to translate onto the field, because this has never been an issue for the Chicago Bears picking up the talent. We've seen them pick up talent last year. We've seen them be the face of the offseason last year and win the offseason last year, but it just couldn't transfer over to the field. So now with them picking up all these different pieces, I think it will work better now that they picked up some important pieces to actually get the ball moving downfield. Starting from the line is what I mean, but it's always a concern. You never really know. So shout out to the Bears. They've been doing good, though, so far. And obviously, it's still, it's only day one of free agency right now. So you can't really say, oh, they're bad, they're really good, or, they're the best so far. But, I mean, it's looking like they're about to take the offseason again and really turn things around. So I'm happy for them that they're doing their thing. Another impressive team as well was the Washington Commanders. They've been making a lot of solid moves. The Pittsburgh Steelers has been making some solid moves as well. I think the biggest move from the Steelers was the DK Metcalf move. He moved over from the Seattle Seahawks. He was traded. And now you got George Pickens and DK Metcalf over there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know a lot of people are talking about, oh, man, this is such a talented duo at the receiving end. But I'm more so thinking about how physical and aggressive this team is. Now, look, if Mike Tomlin can somehow manage to become a coach that wins more than 9 games like he's been doing the past few seasons, if he can win more than 9 games and keep these guys under control, meaning DK Metcalf and George Pickens, damn it, the Steelers should re-sign him. But if the Steelers see another 8-8 season, a 9-8, 8-9, whatever the case is, a first-round exit, it shouldn't even be a discussion if Mike Tomlin needs to be fired from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has to go if that's the case, but in a good situation. Still looking for a quarterback is what we see from the Steelers right now. But ultimately, they've been making the moves in the correct decision, in the correct direction. They also picked up Darius Slay, which was huge as well for them. I mean, that guy is going to add a huge amount of safety in that secondary bin, in that backfield. So happy to see that happen. But those are some of the teams that stood out to me in terms of being impressive so far. You got the Commanders. They've been killing it. Steelers. And obviously the Chicago Bears. Another sleeper team that you could possibly argue is the Arizona Cardinals as well. But I'm not going to throw too many teams at you. So again, those are the main teams. But there's one specific team I thought it was disappointing. And most people probably won't see it as a disappointing type of deal or a type of trade that was very disappointing. But one of the ones, the worst move, I think it's possibly one of the worst moves that we've seen in the offseason so far. And it's not because the guy isn't deserving or it's not because he's bad or anything. But my thing is, the only move that's worse than not making a move at all is putting your team down for the count and making the situation worse than what they've been in over the past 3 to 4 years. The Cleveland Browns, they signed Myles Garrett to a 4-year extension, $123 million guaranteed, on an average of $40 million a year. Now, mind you, again, Garrett is deserving of every single penny. He's worked for it. He obviously has the talent. He has the stats to back it all up as well to become the most highest paid non-quarterback player right now. So I'm not upset at Garrett for getting his money. I'm more so upset at the Cleveland Browns for not letting him walk away. This is exactly why you're in a situation that you're in, why you've been struggling to win games and fill the roster with pieces that you need in order to win ball games and actually have a successful season. It's because you take all your money and you pay it to one single person. You don't spread the love. You don't put it over there in that position. You don't put it over there in that position. You take all of your money, and instead of going to get multiple free agents or trading a valuable guy like Garrett for multiple draft picks so you can get guys on smaller contracts and save some money, you decide, you know what? I know we're not perfect over there in this area of the field. We're not perfect over there in this area of the field, but we're going to keep Myles Garrett. We're going to pay him all the money we got. It's insane to me. Now the Browns are back to square one. Now they're back in the same situation from Deshaun Watson. So you didn't learn anything. Didn't learn a single thing of why you shouldn't have paid Deshaun Watson all that money. And again, Myles Garrett is worth it. But we thought the same thing with Deshaun Watson until he continued to get hurt. Not saying that Garrett is going to get hurt. I don't want him to get hurt. But either way it goes, Myles Garrett is not enough to go turn your franchise all the way into a winning team when you still need help in multiple areas of the field. So what are you doing? This is why the Browns stink the way they do. So they should be ashamed of themselves. And that, to me, that's the most disappointing move that they made. I know there's teams out there who hasn't made any move right now, and you're like, oh man, well damn, I wish my team would at least do something. Look, would you rather your team spend all the money on one person or save their money, keep their mouth shut, and just wait until the opportunity comes to them? That's what your team is probably doing if they ain't making no moves, unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, because we know how they get down. But that's a side note, and that's a stray at them. But other than that, man, look, the Browns, that's rough. That's rough. You could have man, I could think of 50 different scenarios, and I could sit on here all day and talk to y'all about all the different scenarios that the Browns could have done to elevate the situation and to get Myles Garrett to a contending team. He said he wanted to win, and I ain't mad at him for taking it. Because, yeah, everybody want to win until one of these teams come at you and say, hey, look, bro, I got 100 and something mil guaranteed for you. Just stay here. So I get it. I get why Myles Garrett was like, I'm going to stay in Cleveland. I would have stayed in Cleveland my damn self. So I'm not mad at him for doing that. I'm just more so upset at the Browns that they didn't let him go and invest this money in other areas of the team that could really help them become a complete team. So that's my only thing. It's mind-blowing, man. It's mind-blowing. But, hey, this is exactly why the Cleveland Browns are a bad team right now. So we'll see. Anyway, look, man, we got some news for the run. And again, a lot of NFL news, a lot of free agent signings and deals and stuff like that going on. So stay tuned. We'll try and update you on all of that. But I can't promise you'll get the full update because things are literally changing as I record this right now. There's new people getting traded, new people signing. Literally all of it is changing right now. So this is why I'm only telling you the short things. I'm not even going to tell you any other rumors. But stay tuned. We got the news. It's halftime.